because you always just don't happy when like
I think like
people deluded, I'm back again.
come on, Ian, man. Come on. The big man Ian Wright just said there, the legend Ian Wright, people deluded, I'm back again. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and in some cases, good night. I hope you're not blessed, I hope you're safe, hope you're well, hope you're all in good spirits, and I extend that to not just you, but your loved ones, your friends, your families, all that kind of stuff. Subscribe, smash the like button. Creative juices need to start flowing. I want to see you lot in the comments, people. This is a family, people, and you lot have, well, to be honest, I started in 2016. It's been, well, September will be 10 years, and we've always been a family. We're a growing community. And you know what? But I would say in this year, yeah, the moments I've had online with you lot and when I've met you lot in the streets and whatnot, there's no words, man. There's no words. Without you lot, the thing's dead, innit? So let me do exactly what you're here for. And let's speak about the transfers. Yeah. So God bless everybody. Official, the 2026 summer transfer window is now open. Who should Arsenal sign this summer? Get in the comments and let me know. The comments at the bottom of the vid. Who should we sign? How many signings do you think? Because on one hand, I think 3 to 4. I think, you know, Arsenal fans, from what I'm about to say, you can make a case of a left back, a right back, a multifunctional guy. So one defender minimum, maybe 2. You can make a case of central midfield, which Tonali links, Bouaddi links. Miles Lewis-Skelly's put himself into the frame. We've got Declan Rice. We've got Diomande. I think we could deal with one more. And if we could do all of that, and you've got a Kai, you've got Marino, you've got, fingers crossed, a Morgan Rogers and Eze at Odegaard. Throughout the season, we can pivot and do cute and little things. Some would like a striker, whether that's a scouts do their job sort of thing, in the same way we've been linked with the Greek lad, or, you know, you go and get a Krupi, a young emerging talent, and pay the price tag to match. Obviously, we're not getting Julian Alvarez, but a high-level market opportunity there. I'd love Endrick, could play on the right, could play centrally. There's that. I think the one thing we could all, so with what I've been saying and spraying there, you'd all probably agree, disagree, different points of view in it. I think you could get 10 Arsenal fans in the room. We all disagree on what I just said, right? Or have different points of view. One place we'd all agree is that left-hand side, people. But yeah, the window is open. I do think we need about 2 to 3, maybe even 4. But if you could get 2, 3 level raises, if we could get a Tonali or Bouaddi, if you can get a bad boy on the left-hand side, if you could get me a Morgan Rogers to go with ceiling raises and squad additions like the Greek you, I'm all for it. And then you let this man here do the magic. We're going to win the league again, innit? Arteta, man, you won the league. Let me control that watch, bro. That'll change my life. But yeah, Bouaddi, been linked with us. Had a great game against Brazil. And it's not just Arsenal. You know, Arsenal, PSG, Liverpool, Tottenham, Hotspur, Lull are throwing themselves into it. Liverpool attend Morocco game to scout Bouaddi. Now, we've got to remember, when you hear people are at the games, Liverpool, Arsenal, Tottenham officials or scouts, they could just be at the game for whatever reason. They could be scouting Bouaddi. Remember, there's 22 players out there, excluding subs. They could be looking at other people. Scouting doesn't always mean you're making an impending move, people. You know, where Liverpool's concerned, I think they need a couple of defenders and a lot of things, but I would say you could see him starting, like, and him, Gravenberch had a great game for Holland. You could see him starting there. Tottenham, the only platform is that you're living in London, you're playing a lot of games. There's no expectation you'll be moved on. Arsenal, you're fighting Diomande, Lewis-Skelly, Declan Rice. We've shown what we can do with the young players historically, and now we've won the Premier League. There's that French tie, and we're in the champs. And if Berta really has been putting in the groundwork for the best part of a couple of months, why not? He's been strongly linked with a Leo exit. That was before his standout performance against Brazil, which, again, there's some people, the casual football fan is saying, oh, he's one of them that nobody hears about. He has a great World Cup and he goes on and does nothing with his career. No, people have wanted him when he's been at Leo. He's just put himself at the forefront. More people are going to watch Morocco versus Brazil than, with the greatest of respect, Leo against Marseille, which I would watch that, but you get where I'm going. Bouaddi extended his deal at Leo early in the season. The Liga club did not do so with the wish of retaining the former French youth international for the long term, but rather to ensure that they would fetch a significant fee, likely this summer. Their chances of doing so have been bolstered with Premier League interest ongoing. Bouaddi is on Liverpool's shortlist, notably alongside Lamine Camara. Foot Mercato understands other clubs are very much in the race, including Paris Saint-Germain, Arsenal, and Tottenham Hotspur. Over the weekend, it was announced by the Times that the reigning Premier League champions had opened talks with Sasha Trevanelli, adding that there have been positive talks with the midfielders' entourage. So Again, there could be other things that we've seen spanners in the works, but of all the clubs linked, it seems like us, we've got official dialogue. But like Morgan Rogers, things can happen in the World Cup. Like Cucurella signed for Real Madrid. Why he's been at the World Cup. So moves can happen during, moves can happen before, like an Anthony Gordon. I personally think, and I'd love to be proven wrong, but if Arsenal were genuinely to get a Bouaddi or Morgan Rogers, we're not going to see that until after the World Cup when they've got time to focus on club level because they're representing their countries and they owe it to themselves, the fans, their fellow teammates, and the coaching staff to focus on the tournament. But Football Insider's saying the same thing. Arsenal have opened preliminary talks to sign Bouaddi and hope to complete a deal for £50 million plus add-ons. Sources have told Football Insider Leo are holding out for 60 million with Bouaddi keen to move to the Premier League this summer. I mean, if it's 60 million quid, he will more than pay for it. He's an 18-year-old. There is resale value. He's on the right age, obviously. He can grow with the Max Daumans, the Miles Lewis-Skellies, the Wanyeris, people of this ilk people. We've got a lot of players that are in their late teens, early 20s, mid-20s. We're in that sweet spot, people. So 60 million will pay for itself. Any transfer for Bouaddi will not be below 70 million euros. The best clubs in Europe want him, according to this journalist, people. Anyone having Yan Diomande, now granted, we're not linked with him, but his decision-making needs to improve. And I think you saw that against Ecuador for Ivory Coast, but it was another reminder why I think he would be a dream of a lot of clubs, man. He looks very decent. Like he had Hincapié on skates. To be fair, our defenders have looked a bit booky playing for their countries. But yeah, anyone having Diomande, he seems to be linked with both Liverpool and PSG. There's next to no links for that. Big up Gyökeres and Isak because they're scoring goals. At the time of making this video, Tunisia have actually sacked their manager. Lovely for Gyökeres. For, number 14 helped bring our 14th league title. He helped Arsenal obviously deliver. He obviously helped Sweden get to the World Cup. And it's lovely that he's obviously bagged. And it'd be nice to see Isak staying fit. So yeah, big him up. Kai Havertz's got a brace for Germany. If he can stay fit, we're going to need him in it. I'm not going to go as far as say important season. You would have seen Arsenal exploring a deal to sign Christos Chalozi. Again, let's just call him T. I tried, man. From Club Brugge. David Ornstein believes the deal could be done for 34.5 million. So it's not going to break the bank, people. Once again, Arsenal, according to Gary Jacob of The Times, have begun talks to sign Bouaddi. Leo have valued him at 60 million, while Arsenal face competition from PSG, Chelsea, and other big clubs. Everyone's throwing their hat into the ring. Mikel Arteta wants to rotate 4 midfielders next season. Declan Rice, Zubamendi, Miles Lewis-Skelly, and a new signing. I'm for that, because Rice is the one you want to see all the time. We love what Miles Lewis-Skelly's becoming. Love what Zubamendi is. And obviously, if it's a Tonali or Bouaddi, you'll never hear... on this channel, probably since we started, I always say we need central midfielders. I will shut up. Rice can play as a 6 or an 8. We know where his strengths are. Zubamendi, the same. Lewis-Skelly, the same. Bouaddi is more of a 6 than an 8 to me, but they all can do multifunctionality, and that's what we need to be able to do, man. Like, imagine man were telling me pure profit and sell Miles Lewis-Skelly, bro. That's a £60 million player minimum and rising. I only say that because he's been in the first team 2 minutes. Can't let that go. We know we're not getting Mateus Fernandes, but keeping you updated. Arsenal have called their interest in Mateus Fernandes, who seems set to join Manchester United. Arsenal felt West Ham's 80 million valuation was too high. A great player in his own right. I really rate him. Seems like we're moving closer to getting Monga. Alex Crook of TalkSport said, I was told up to 10 clubs, both in the Premier League and abroad, showed an interest in Jerry Monga. Arsenal are very close to agreeing a deal with Leicester City for a fee I'm told will be around 10 million. So we would have spent about 40 million on a 24-year-old, the Club Brugge. Monga, who's 16, going to be 17 minimum by the time he signs for Arsenal. It helps. And that's without speaking, in it. What I think one thing we've learned from last season is judge the club at the end. Judge the club at the end. I know we want this player and that player. We're seeing what other people are doing and no doubt going to do. But remember, we signed Noni Madueke first and how it ended. So judge them at the end. And to be fair, in Josh Kroenke, Mikel Arteta, Andrea Berta, the extensive team and the people that work with them, they've earned my trust anyways, people. I woke up to a message from Alex Crook. Well, this is what Alex Crook is saying this morning from a very reliable source telling me Bradley Barcola is asked to leave PSG. Liverpool and Arsenal are both tracking Barcola. While Rodgers is Arsenal's top choice, I wouldn't rule out a move for Barcola. If it came down to Barcola or Rodgers, I want Rodgers. Do you not think there's a reality where you do get a Morgan Rodgers, a Barcola, the guy from Club Brugge, and you've got a Monga? Do we see 4 attackers coming? Surely people have to move on. And, Kai's been linked with a move away, actually. I don't believe it. Odegaard's being linked with Inter Milan. Martinelli and Trossard are being linked with moves away. So it'd be interesting to see exactly what's going to happen. What's this? Aston Villa have no desire to sell Morgan Rodgers, but sources But suitors such as Arsenal believe 80 million could prompt negotiation. So 80 million gets conversation started. Nottingham Forest apparently, and we've seen no update, have submitted a 28 million euros bid for Fabio Vieira. Drive him to Nottingham tonight. We're still linked with Alex Scott. Morgan Gibbs-White. Rumours are back. Arsenal and United could face a challenge if they decide to seriously push for Gibbs-White, with Nottingham Forest determined to keep holding. You know, they're taking City to the cleaners, isn't it? Ain't they rejected like 100-odd million plus, 120 million pound bid? I can't see them letting both go, but they're going to make bank. And Nottingham Forest, you lot are too good to be in these relegation scrapes, people. So, yeah, United have been linked with him. Arsenal have been linked with him. Admittedly, I think we're linked with him as an alternative. I'd have him in the squad, man. I don't think he's a bad player at all. I think he'd give us a lot. Had a great goal-scoring season. And in the current climate of what the Premier League is, I think he'd work a treat. Sources close to the agents industry informed courtside that Arsenal, Man United, Manchester City, Chelsea, and Tottenham Hotspur have also an interest, while European clubs are also monitoring the situation. For Arsenal, the attraction is obvious. Mikel Arteta's side have been looking for more creativity and goal threat between the lines. Gibbs-White would offer something different to their current midfield and attacking options. He's direct, aggressive, technically sharp, and comfortable carrying the ball into dangerous areas. With that being said, anyone want him with that? We're still linked with Lecole of Crystal Palace, as well as Real Madrid and Manchester United. I wonder if we get another defender. Once again, this is basically said we're beginning to step up our recruitment. Bouaddi is someone that's of interest. We've moved away from Fernandez, who's valued at 80 odd million. So yeah, that's looking like a myth, if I'm honest. What's this? Well, he's set for talks with Arsenal. Arsenal have been actively working on the move for the 18-year-old and have kept in contact with the player's entourage since early 2025. It's added that Arsenal have scheduled further talks for after the World Cup. Apparently, they've scheduled a 60 million. They've placed a 60 million asking price on Bouaddi. 96 appearances, some of that in the Champions League as well. So there are times he's going to show he's an 18-year-old, but he does play and have a CV that's mature beyond his years, people. What's this? Arsenal can sign Morgan Rogers today after seal of approval and complete 2 other transfers. What a way of framing it. Okay, he's been linked with us. He got 14 goals and 12 assists and is fighting Jude Bellingham for a spot. They could demand 100 million. Rogers is claimed to be open to a move, though he isn't actively seeking an exit from Aston Villa. Rogers is a fantastic player. Bradley Bacola has been linked with us. Again, it seems like that's born out of contract stuff. Again, someone that's linked with everyone. And Luis Enrique is keen to retain in people. Bouaddi, we've gone over that. They seem to be the flavors of the month. Saliba's apparently returned to training ahead of France's World Cup opener, which is good news. We needed to stay fit. Yeah, Tonali would be a good player for Arsenal, but he's actually, Damasio is saying Chelsea are sniffing. Again, if it came to it, Tonali or Bouaddi, who would you go for? Eze makes penalty claim after Arsenal heartbreak. He would take a penalty for England. I mean, it is what it is. Specifically, what have you said? Football is full of everything, and you have to try to accept it as it is, to enjoy it as much as you can. Playing in the Champions League finals where I want to be is what I want to do. We'll go for it again next season, and if there's a penalty to take, I'll be there again. All the big players have missed big penalties, have experienced these type of moments. Saka missed one, he didn't die. Magalhaes isn't going to die. You're not going to die, and you're right. Players in the future will miss. I've had messages from everyone to speak on those moments. For me, it's not something I wish never happened. I'm grateful it happened. I'm going to grow from it, learn from it, and move forward. Now, people will see that and think, oh, he wanted to miss it on purpose. Of course, he wanted to score, but life happens for you. It doesn't happen to you. So it's how you interpret it. He could curl up into a ball, feel sorry for himself, and never come back from it, or you learn from it and just fucking get on with it. I think I've taken pennies for a long time. It's part of the journey. You have to continue to improve, find new ways to improve. I'm not going to stress too much about it because I know I'm in this position for a reason and all the training behind it. Honestly, before even speaking to other players, you can see the way big players carry themselves. You step up, you do what you need to do. If you miss, you miss. If you score, you score. It's the mentality to keep going. That's part of the journey. I'll take care of it. The group will take care of him. I think the extra week they will help a lot, says Tuchel, I think, in relation to Eze. So, yeah, man, obviously, Noni, Rice, Saka, Eze. We hope the England boys, and I actually hope an Arsenal player wins the World Cup. Real Madrid have been told it's 80 million euros if they want to sign Calafiori. Now they've signed Cucurella. They're probably leaving that alone. What is this? Apparently, Rodgers is keen on the move to Arsenal, according to the Athletic people. He's not seeking an exit. We know where Telosis, Big T of Club Brugge is concerned. We're moving ever closer to getting that. So there isn't anything new, really and truly. It's the same old individuals. Damasio and Rodgers has said, at the moment, no, but he's on Arsenal's list for sure. Nothing has started between the clubs. Arsenal started moving in the market yet because they looking for the perfect players for Arteta, and they haven't decided if he's a priority. He's on their list, but they haven't opened negotiations for him at the moment. The market will be slow because of the World Cup. Every team that has played at the World Cup, they'll want to wait for it to be over because players can raise their value and they can sell them at a premium. All teams will try to wait for the World Cup to open to close deals, people. So we'll have to see.